we have to blame Phil because Phil continues to employ Matthew. And Matthew Booty, we have to blame because he's the head of Xbox first-party studios. And you have had years to assess his ability to run that department. And you have had years to see, he's not very good at it. Proof's in the pudding. The pudding tastes like shit. You see those 3 people in the thumbnail? One of them needs to be fired, at least one of them. Now, I don't know Sarah Bond that well. She seems like a nice lady. She seems like she does a good job. Let's take her out of the picture for a minute. Let's just think about how weird this situation is, and then we'll get back to the main question, which one of these guys, or either or both, need to no longer be working for Microsoft. So we know on Thursday that they're going to come out and announce some changes to the business model. By all rumors that seem relatively well supported, substantiated, whatnot, Hi-Fi Rush, Pentiment, and eventually Sea of Thieves, maybe more games will be coming to competing platforms, namely PlayStation and Switch. Okay. Ask yourself why this is happening. Ask yourself, even more importantly, if Redfall had been huge or just loved, if Starfield, as much as I like Starfield, love Starfield, had been beloved and a big success and people were modding it and playing the shit out of it, if there had been, after Pal World, which was a wonderful surprise, a great game coming in March we were all excited about, let's say it's Fable or Avowed or whatever. Let's just take that, because you can go back before that to when they were fucking up, but let's just give them up to Redfall. Well, these people that you see right here are the people that created the situation that causes them to be announcing Thursday they're making changes to the business model. If all of those things had worked, Redfall, Starfield, a new game coming in March, a regular release cadence, which was promised, guess what? We would not be having this announcement. I can almost guarantee you. Now, people can say, well, yeah, Game Pass was never sustainable. Maybe it is, maybe it's not true, but what we know is true is that the vision of Game Pass that was promised is not the vision of Game Pass that we've gotten so far. And the reason for that are these two Jews. I don't think either one of them are Jewish. These two dudes that are sitting right here on your screen, or their pictures are on your screen. It would be very weird if they were sitting on your screen. That's some fucking service. Listen, though, it's their fault. I don't know, we have to blame Phil because Phil continues to employ Matthew. And Matthew Booty, we have to blame because he's the head of Xbox first-party studios. And you have had years to assess his ability to run that department. And you have had years to see, he's not very good at it. Proof's in the pudding. The pudding tastes like shit. And you go, well, you know what? We're going to announce some changes, boys. Guess what? Who's going to oversee those changes? The same fuckers who got us into the position that we need to make changes in the first place. If all those things had worked, Redfall, Starfield, Game Pass would be flying high. People would be like, that's the place to play. That's a hell of a vision. That's a great deal. Blah, 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 blah. Nobody's saying that because they can't consistently put out good product. And what's funny about it is, if you look at the fact that Matt Booty is, and I hate to aim my guns at Matt Booty. For all I know, Matt Booty is the fucking unsung hero because for the last 3 years, Phil Spencer's been sitting in the corner rocking back and forth, eating ding-dongs and singing lyrics from old Styx songs. I don't know, but I'm just going on what has been put out into the public forward-facing. And in that, Matt Booty, he doesn't know what he's doing. Okay, he seems like a very nice guy, but it seems like what they did is they said, hey, you know what? Instead of getting the right people for this vision, for this business model, Game Pass as promised, as pitched. And so you know what we're going to do? Let's change the business model to be something Matt Booty and Phil Spencer can actually do. It's like they're the kids of the CEO or something. And it's like, well, we can't fire them. So let's just pivot the entire program around the weaknesses and possible strengths of these folks that are running it instead of getting new people to run it. I don't understand. And it's disappointing to me because I loved and continue to, I don't have faith, but I have hope that the vision of Game Pass will actually be executed. Now, it may not be by Microsoft because clearly they would rather, we'll know Thursday, maybe they're going to come out and totally wow us and excite us, and I'll walk this back. But I'm just going on the information that's out there right now. And based on that, this vision that they had promised that sounded so wonderful. And don't fucking hit me in the comments. Well, it's not sustainable. You don't know if it was sustainable. What they're doing now isn't sustainable, probably. Releasing a bunch of subpar games and every now and then a really good game like the Forza games. Yeah, that's not sustainable. But that wasn't the promise. The promise was a cadence of high quality games from first party AAA. That's when they're buying all the studios. And then they'll drop in these sort of third party day ones and smaller titles to kind of keep the churn from churning too much before the next big game drops. That was the vision. I think that's very sustainable. But these folks on your screen here, not the people for it. And I hate to be a dick. I don't want to see anybody lose their job. But Jesus Christ, in an industry where, what is it now, 6,000 people this year alone, we're only in mid-February, have already lost their jobs in games. Could we maybe shine the spotlight on at least one of these fellas? And I don't mean it to be a dick. Like I said, I mean it because I love the vision of Game Pass, and I want that to succeed, and I want it to be a real thing. And sadly, I give it a 70 chance it ain't ever going to happen now based on what we're going to hear Thursday. But I'm open to being wrong, because I'm wrong a lot. Because I'd love it to still work. I have great love for that vision, and I hope it happens. Be well.